Hello and welcome as we take a deeper look at the nuances of conducting ancestral research. While we explore the history, struggles, and triumphs of our ancestors, we'll also unveil the challenges that researchers face when unearthing these records and unlocking stories of the past. So grab your notebooks, open your minds, and let's get started. As we've discussed, our ancestry is a fusion of different cultures, experiences, and places. It's fascinating to uncover the stories that make us who we are. But as you embark on your ancestry research, remember that this journey isn't always a straightforward one. Look back at your notes. What are some of the challenges or concerns you may have or anticipate when doing your own ancestral research? One of the first challenges you might encounter is incomplete records. Throughout history, many communities faced displacement, colonization, and forced migration, which led to the loss or destruction of vital ancestry documents, like birth, marriage, and death certificates. Some records were purposefully destroyed in an effort to erase communities and prior connections to former people and places. This was often the case with enslavement and colonization, both in the United States and around the world. As a result, it can be incredibly difficult for some people to trace their lineage accurately. However, we can utilize institutional records like church records, probate documents, and business accounts to retrace the movement of people that have sadly been marginalized in the past. Oral history is a treasure trove of knowledge passed down through generations. However, this can also pose challenges. Different cultures have unique ways of preserving history through storytelling. Oral accounts might vary or be lost in translation, making the research even more complex. When languages are lost, not transmitted to younger generations, or storytellers die, these histories disappear. Sometimes, important events, perspectives, and voices get lost in the currents of time, creating gaps in our understanding of the past. Historical amnesia refers to the phenomenon where certain events, experiences, or groups are either downplayed or entirely forgotten in the retelling of history. This can happen for a variety of reasons: political agendas, cultural biases, or simply the passage of time. As we become disconnected from our pasts, we can lose our sense of community and connection to those who came before us. Conducting ancestral research allows you to reclaim your past in order to better understand yourself. Now, let's pause for a moment and jot down curiosities you may have about historical amnesia in your own life. What relationship do you or your family have with your ancestors? Why do you think this is? How might conducting your own ancestral research change the way you look at your family history? In the age of information, misinformation can be a stumbling block. Not all online family trees and historical records are accurate. It's crucial to cross-reference information from reliable sources to avoid perpetuating inaccuracies. Language can be both a bridge and a barrier. As you dig into old documents or communicate with distant relatives, you might encounter languages that are no longer widely spoken. Learning about these languages or seeking translation assistance is key to unlocking your heritage. Understanding why the language is not widely spoken may help you in contextualizing the world your ancestors navigated, as well as your own. Colonization brought with it the destruction of traditional cultural connectors, like the systematic eradication of native languages to prevent revolt. You may also discover current efforts to reclaim languages in a greater effort to strengthen community identity and culture. Our past isn't always pleasant. Some of our ancestors might have faced discrimination, colonization, or other harmful experiences. Some of our ancestors might have even been enslaved or even profited from the unpaid labor of others. When researching these sensitive histories, it's important to approach them with respect and empathy. understanding that these stories can evoke powerful emotions. Genetic testing has revolutionized ancestry research, but it comes with its own set of challenges. Interpreting DNA results requires a deep understanding of genetics, and even then, results can be complex and surprising due to the mix of genetics from various lineages. Access to records and resources can be a significant hurdle. Some institutions do not provide widespread public access to their records. Some historical documents are housed in distant archives, and traveling there might not always be feasible. Additionally, the costs of subscriptions to genealogy websites and DNA tests can add up. Ethics matter in ancestry research. Some information might be personal or private to certain individuals or communities. Always seek permission and consider the potential impact of your own research, especially if it involves living relatives. Be sensitive to the fact that some pasts are difficult to share, carry social stigmas, and unearth uncomfortable memories. Amidst these challenges, there's a bright side. Ancestry research can lead you to living relatives you didn't know you had. Connecting with distant cousins can provide new insights and expand your family circle. You may also discover new cultural connections and understandings of your family's customs. As you journey through the labyrinth of your past, remember that each challenge is an opportunity for growth. Ancestry research teaches us patience, resilience, and the power of storytelling. So, don't be discouraged by obstacles. Embrace them as part of the adventure. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the challenges and obstacles in ancestry research.